Hi, I'm Julliette Salter. Here we are again, and we're ready to finish this. I hope you can see it well. Looks like to me you can. Let me adjust a little bit. Nope. I apologize. I thought I was all set to go. Obviously, by now y'all know I'm not great at this. This is the side that's not showing. There we go. Okay, so now what we have done, and it's pretty important for that very bottom to show, so let me see if I can get it there. Maybe it's at too big of an angle. So let's bring it in a little. Out a little. What does it take? There we go. Okay, so now what we're doing is finishing up this painting that we started this morning. I've enjoyed being with you this morning, and so I'm looking forward to finishing this painting up. So what I did while you were gone was to come in and finish the water. I did the waterfall exactly like that waterfall up there, and then put some splash in it. And I made some little splash down through here because I felt like it was very rocky down through there. So, and I've also come in and I put the background for the grasses and made this a little more level so that, as you can see, it's not as hilly as the other and doesn't have quite as many bushes and trees. However, we're going to put some big bushes and trees in. So now what we're doing with this is right in here we're going to put some huge trees. The idea is that when you look at this, if you look at it right now straight on, your eye will wander over to this color and it'll fall off your canvas. So if we put a large tree here and maybe one here, then that's going to stop your eye and you're going to flow right on through the canvas, and that's what you want your eye to do. And you don't want it to look here and stop, so we're going to put a tree over here and maybe a stump. So let's get started now. So what I'm using is Van Dyke Brown. Actually, I think in the acrylics it's called burnt umber. So we're going to start right here, and we're using our palette knife. So right in here, I think maybe I'll put it right here. We're going to put this tree, and as we go up, see how we're flowing up with it? We want this to go all the way up and over like this, which it didn't do. So we will wipe the palette knife and try it again. Okay, so we got about right here with it. Now let's go on up some more and watch how this stops flowing again. The reason is because the acrylic had time to partially dry. So in doing that, it has made it kind of sticky, so that when I'm going across it, my palette knife is stopping. So we'll just make it work. We put more on there, and now we're going to start up here. We don't want it to get too thick. Now it's starting to work. Look at that. You just have to work with it sometimes to get the desired effect. Okay, and there it is. So we're trying to get the more or less the outline of it. We'll come in with a fan brush and we'll do a little more work in a few minutes. So this goes here. And now we want this tree to probably be maybe about this wide. So we're coming up with it like this. You see how my palette knife is dragging? That's because this acrylic has started to dry. Okay, and so this one's going to split off like it had a lightning strike it or something, so it's coming off to that way. And we want it to come on up out of maybe here. Okay, and so this tree, this limb, we want it to be about, because it's the predominant tree, so we want it to come up here. And then it's going to come out like this, so it gets more narrow. Okay. I'm gonna pull my brush out. Now see how this one comes into here? That's gonna look really good, isn't it? When we get through with it. Now let's put another limb. What do you say we put another limb like right up into here? Yeah, we'll make it curly back this way. Maybe it has a little more of a, comes into that tree right there. So part of this, part of the tree is part of this limb right there. That's a really, that tree right now looks like it would do well in a Halloween scene, doesn't it? Well, watch what we'll do to it. We'll straighten it all up. You'll be amazed at it. So this we want to be a little wider coming up here. Okay, so now let me put the palette knife up and get a brush. So with this, I'm going to use, I love these brushes that don't have any names on them. Anyway, it's about a 1-inch flat brush. It's an acrylic brush. So when I teach kids classes, I use these acrylic brushes that you can buy by the bundles, and sometimes they turn out to be really good brushes. Alright, so now we're going to pull this paint in. See how it's moving now with the brush rather than the palette knife? Okay, so now just bringing it down like this. We want this edge to look a little jagged because it's a tree and the edge of the bark is a little rough. So what we'll do is just touch it on that edge and it will do it. Let's pull this limb out and then we're going to come down here and do this limb. Oh, that paint is moving really well now, isn't it? Okay, so now, here we go. And we want to stop it about right there. Now this is acrylic and it will not take it long to dry. So I'm going to wipe this brush out, as you see, and I'm going to come back and touch. So here we go, I am touching the edge, and that's making it just have a little bit of a rough bark edge. Now, a good way to learn to paint trees is to maybe ride down a road, an old country road. Get off the road where it's nice and safe and convenient. Don't want you to have a wreck. And look at the trees that are in that area. You might find one just like this. And that will show you exactly how to paint it. Now see how this limb is coming off of that? We're going to make this one do the same thing. It needs to get wider as it comes down. And we want it to have a little more of a slope into the tree. How's that looking? Any better? I sure hope so. Now this one's coming down like this. See how rugged that edge is looking? I hope you can see that, because that gives it more of that bark look to it. And I'm just tapping along the edge of it. That's all I'm doing. And it's so easy to do this. Okay, see how I'm tapping? I'm actually, because I am tapping this wet paint on the dry paint, which is acrylic, then I'm able to pick up some of the colors behind it, and it gives it a really unique look to it. However, you know we're going to do more to it, right? We're not going to just stop with that. So I'm wiping my brush out. I'm tapping into the, now I already have brown in my brush, but I'm tapping into the titanium white, and I'm working it in my brush. Remember, our light is coming from this way. So we want to make sure that we put a little light in here. Now see how I'm making it come down there? Oh, don't you like that? Just all of a sudden, you start doing something and you're like, yeah, that's what I wanted it to do. So what do you think? Can you see that, how it's giving the highlight coming through here? All right, so here we go. I'm gonna put some more paint in my brush. Can you tell I enjoy painting? And I enjoy teaching. I didn't start painting until I was in my 30s. And Mr. Jim Cyphers actually trained me. And he was a wonderful teacher. The first painting I did, he said, Now don't throw that away. I thought, shoot, I thought that was pretty good. Well, I guess not, huh? So the next painting I did, he said, well, don't give that one away. I thought, okay, well, that's a lot better than don't throw it away, right? So the next one that I did, he said, don't sell that one. I thought, okay, that's pretty good, right? So then I did another one, and I put it in a local show at the, I think it was at the Presbyterian, no, the Methodist Church. And he bought it. And I thought, what a nice way for him to try to promote my art, to show me that it was worth being purchased. And he told me, he said, I didn't want anybody else to get it. He said, that was your real first piece of art. And he said, I taught you, I wanted to make sure I got it. So I thought that was the greatest compliment he could have given me. Anyway, a little TMI, too much information. Look at that, what a design this brush is leaving in that. I guess you can hear me tapping on this wood, because this is an art case, like to take, I think I mentioned the first time in the first part of the video, just to take when you go painting, plein air, when you're outside painting something. And I thought, well, this would be kind of nice. I could tell mine from anybody else's, huh? Now, when this dries, it will be a little rough. It will not be as rough as if we had put oil, if we had done this in oil, because it stands up. Okay, and as you see in this, I have medium, dark, or dark, medium, and light values, and that's what you want in everything that you do. I think we had a tree like this on Waverly where I used to go, and part of my childhood was there. If not, it was up in Miss Noni's Showbras in Rodney, which was where I used to ride my horses. Now, I went too far with this, so I want to make sure that my values are right on the tree. Okay, so I'm liking that. My light's coming in from this direction. I'm going to stop on it right there, and I'm going to put us a tree leaning over here. I guess about right here. So this one, this one is coming up like this. Looks like he fell behind this tree, and he's going right across this. Now he's in the ground right there where he's just toppled over. So there we go. We're going to put him up like this. Now I'm not naming these. I don't know why not. Guess I could give them some names. Why don't we call this Jim, Mr. Jim Cyphers. Now, we're going to, okay, so now we're tapping this in, just like we did up there, for that light to hit on it. Oh yeah. Now, if you would like complete instructions on this, I do sell it. I sell it in paper form, and I also sell the DVDs. Don't really know why you'd want to do that. You have it here. But anyway, the paper form might be pretty good because it's the step-by-step instructions. I think this one fell, so I might put just a little green on it, like the moss has started to grow on it. So I'm going to tap into some sap green. And I'm just going to tap a little bit right here. Yeah, look at that. Just give it that little mossy look right there. Maybe put a little moss out here and here. Alright, now let's put another tree over here. So with this, I think I'm going to go with my brush, and I am going to take some titanium white and some dark sienna, or burnt sienna as this may be. Trying to find a place on my palette knife to, I think we'll go into the burnt umber. Okay, so right about here, I'm going to bring this tree up. And it's going to go out the top too. It's a tall tree. There we go. I'm going to call him Seth. I have a very good friend of mine that's named Seth. And he's a very tall man. Or maybe I'm very short. Anyway, he sells real estate in Colorado. Best realtor. And of course I have to say, besides Charlotte, since she's my daughter-in-law and she's here, but she is a good realtor now. I don't want to sell her short. So, but Seth was the kicker for Kentucky back in the day when he was in college. Set all these class records, or college records, and football kicking, I guess that's how you say it. And I'm a big football fan. I can't believe I'm not telling this right. Anyway, Seth, like I said, he set all the records at Kentucky, and they're still holding to this day. So that's pretty impressive, I think. That was probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago that he did that. I don't know the year. You know, when you get my age, everybody's young, right? So, anyway, this is Seth that I'm painting here. We have done quite a few real estate deals over the last few years. Okay, that's looking good now. See how easy this is? You just take a brush and you guide it down your canvas. Can it get any easier than that? I also love to teach classes, so if you have a group of friends, I do what you call these party paintings. I teach those kind of classes. But I also teach, I'm certified to teach Bob Ross landscaping classes. And I teach this acrylic class, or these acrylic classes. So please give me a call. My number is 270-7147. And that's for my painting classes. I just thought I'd put a little bit of a crook in this. I want to make this a little wider down here. Looks like an elbow. Okay, so now we're going to start lighting where the light's coming through here. So I am going to wipe my brush, tap into the titanium white. And I know I'm coming across the camera with my back to you, but I would like to thank Edith O'Quinn for watching. I see that I just saw her name come across there. Thank you, Edith. She's from Jefferson County, or she was, let me put it that way. Okay, so now I'm putting this, lighting the edge of this as I go up. Now see, that sun is coming in this way, so we want to make sure that it's showing on this side. See, and that's where our highlight is, going up just like this. Isn't that cool how easy that is to make? Now we're going to put some right in here. I'm going to turn my brush around the other way so I get a little highlight coming down through there. Now I want this to come right down to there. See how that makes that Y, and it makes it look like this is a separate limb from the rest of the tree. Now I want to come just a little bit, just lightly into that. And that is, I just can't get over how easy that is to show you how to do that. Now what we're going to do now is take a liner brush. Okay, so we're going to put some limbs out. All right, so see this liner brush? I'm going to dip it in the water, and I'm going to come out, swiggle it out from the burnt umber is what it is. Now look, when you swiggle, you just take your brush like this, and you come out like that. See how easy that is? Just swiggle it out, and then that gives you a fine line. So here we go. We're going to put a branch coming out from right here on it, and no paint. I forget I'm dealing with acrylics here. Alright, so let's try it again. Okay, so here we go, and we're going to come out like this. Alright, more paint. Hold that thought one moment, please. And that's why I put all the paint right here in case I ran out. And of course I did. This is burnt umber. That's the base of the tree. So now let's see if I can get some burnt umber on my brush. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now let's see if I can apply it, huh? So I am coming out like this. Okay, now it's starting. You know what? I think I need a different brush. This is not working well at all. Wish I had an assistant that could hand me another brush. So let's see. I'm really sorry for this. I do apologize. I do not have a helper, so I have to go and find whatever I need. And I usually have it all right here, but that brush did not work. So this is one of the Royal and Langnickel brushes for the Zen. So now what I'm doing, look at that. Now we are making this limb come out. Look at that. Now I hope you can see it. I'll make this one a little thicker, so we'll come out over here off of this tree, and we're just wiggling that limb out. I'm going to come back up against it again and make it a little wider. This is what this is the liner brush that I found, and it's not very wide. The other one was too wide and wouldn't work, so that's how my day's going, huh? So I'm trying to see how these look. Let's take one from the back over here. Because remember, limbs come from the front, they come from the back of your painting. They go up, they go around the painting. People forget that you may have a limb up here that's going out over this direction. See how it comes out there? Crosses over that limb. And whenever it makes a little, there we go. That looks like a pitchfork, doesn't it? Okay. Now, all right, and now this one is going to come from this side out. See how it's going up into the sky? Isn't that pretty? Okay, now. over here, we just go put one out over here. There we go. Let's put one coming from the back over here, just coming out the top there. Alright. And we'll put one coming from about right here going across here. Okay, we got some limbs on that tree. I think, we know this one is dead, so we're not going to have any limbs on it. See, right, can you see that? Where is it? Did I lose it? Okay, so now, okay, see this limb here? That one is dead. That tree fell, it's not a limb. And I see that the moss on it is not showing well enough, so we need to add a little more moss to it. And we'll do that in a moment. Now, this tree doesn't have, it's on the verge of being dead. It does not have many limbs left on it at all. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. I think it's a good emphasis. Now this one over here, we're going to put some bushes, some leaves, some foliage on it. Okay, so let me find a good brush for the foliage. And I have it right here. So let's start. We want to put a dark color first. Remember, we want those 3 values. Whatever we do, we want 3 values. So I'm going in and I'm getting this very dark brown. I'm mixing it with some of that sage green. And now we're going to put some leaves like this into it. A little there, a little here. Just by using our brush. See how simple that is? Now, this one we're having there. This one, I need more color or paint on my brush. So, right back here, we have some that are crossing up. So, now, back here, we're putting a few. Now, remember, that's our dark color. So now we're going to go, and I just wiped the brush. I didn't clean it. And we're going to go into this. I'm using Indian yellow, but I'm using mixing it with that green, so that now we just touch it. Look at that, just adding foliage in there. So I'm going to put a little bit of the titanium white with it. And that's going to give us a little bit of a pop to our color. So let's see if we can add a little more. And this is showing that that sunset is reflecting in these leaves. Isn't that pretty? And look, see the greenery or the foliage on this bush right here? It came in front of that limb. Took over, didn't it? That's what we wanted. Now a little bit of this one is coming in front of that. This one is standing out there by itself. So what I'm doing is picking up some more color so that, and I'm tapping in this cloth. That really works. Okay. Now, I think that we need to add some of this sky color to the water. And the reason is because we've got a reflection that should come down down to about right here. So I'm going to take this brush. Now that this is dry, I can put some yellow on it. Now, had I tried to do this earlier, that would have turned green because, of course, blue and green or blue and orange make either green or brown. So you want to make sure that you don't mix your colors when they're wet unless that's your intent. So I'm going to put a little more of this orange in here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now see, that shows a reflection on the top of the water there. Maybe a little back here. And here. Oh yeah. Now what we will do, put a little right in there, and I think that's about it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to wash this brush right quick. I tell you, maybe I will use this because I want to put some more highlights in that water. So I am using the white that has a tiny, tiny bit of that cerulean blue that we have the water, and a little bit of the Prussian blue. That is such pretty colors. And it's got too much blue. So I'm gonna add some more. I only ran out of 2 colors together. I guess that's pretty good. Or 2 colors today. Okay, so now, right. So now I'm putting a little more of this bubbling. When you look at the waterfall, if it's good clear water, then you see where it is bubbling, making a foam, so to speak. Much better. Now, I like that. I hope you like it. Now, my dear friend Sandra Broussard is just coming on, or I see that she's there. Thank you so much, Sandra, for watching. Now, what we're going to do is put a little definition in this part. See how much detail we have back up here? Well, this is not detailed. That's why I went ahead and did it while y'all were gone today. So now it's time for us to put that in. So I hope I'm not taking too much of your time. I could do this all day long because I love to teach, you know. I've said that several times. Okay, so now we're going in and we're getting paint in this brush. We already have 2 values. We have the very dark here, and then we have where I came back with a medium color. So now we're going to put the bushes in. So I think we probably have some bushes right here. See how I'm just tapping in there? Twist your brush, tap again. And that's 1 layer right there. Okay. Now, hopefully I won't forget to put that green right in here, because I think we need some moss on that. All right, so now here we go. We're putting this. This is more like wild grass through here. Oh yeah, that's looking much better. So let's put a little bush out here that's coming from about, see where the water lands here, and that's a little barrier to keep it from going. We need a bush in here. And that's all I'm doing is tapping with this brush. See how easy that is? Isn't that fantastic? Okay, so now, see I have this brush loaded again. Now, remember, these are acrylics we're using. These are not oils. It's a different world using acrylics than oils. Now, I think this bush has come in front of this tree, kind of wrapped around it a little. Look at that. See how you can change your whole design in just a couple of seconds here. So now, I think I need to make this a tad bit heavier back here. Now remember, you have to have dark to have light. So see how I am putting this in where the dark is still showing back here. This is an Indian yellow color that we're using here, and I really love it. It's one of my favorite. And I don't know whether to say it's orange or yellow because it's one of my favorite colors. And now over here. So right in here, I'm going to add some more. And down here. See how we're making it look like grass is growing in here? right around the bottom of this tree. You know we have to have some grass there. This is one thing I think that our youngest generation is going to miss, is being out where you can see how trees grow. That's why I tell people, take your children on a ride. Go down a country road. Let them see what's out there that they are missing on their computers. Because there's pictures of them on the computers. I don't find fault with kids on computers too much. But I do find fault that they're not out experiencing the world. Now I am adding some of the sap green to this brush. And I'm going to add right along this, because I think this is dead enough that it has moss growing on it. See? Now I'm going to highlight that moss with some yellow ochre. Maybe. There we go. Okay, now I like this. I really hope that you do. I have enjoyed being with you today. This is the second part of this video, and it's called Painting with a Landscape with Acrylics. I think is what I named it. I couldn't be sure right now. But if you enjoyed this today, please like it and share it. And I will have it on YouTube in a couple of days, and if you happen to look at it then, please be sure to subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day filled with lots of love and laughter. Bye. And now it is